Hello neighbors, it's Brad here at etrailer, and today we're taking a look at the B&W heavy duty ball mount. This is going to be with a 3-inch rise or a 4-inch drop. We have it in our drop configuration, and it's going to be rated at 16,000 pounds for your gross trailer weight rating. Now, our ball mount's rated at that 16,000 pound gross trailer weight rating. We also have a tongue weight rating, or the downward pressure that's put on here, at 1,600 pounds. So this thing is super tough. A lot of that comes down from the solid shank, but keep in mind that it's only going to be as strong as the other components that you have. So we have a 2 5/16 ball here from DrawTite. This one's rated at 14,000 pounds. So just because our ball mount's rated at 16, you're going to want to go to the lowest rated component, and that way you're not overloading anything. Now, your pin and clip that you're going to need to get this in place does not come with the ball mount. It's going to be a 5/8 pin and clip, so we're just using a standard one. But if you plan on leaving this on your truck, you don't want anyone to just walk by and grab your ball mount. So I recommend picking up a locking pin and clip if you plan on leaving your ball mount on your truck. Now, as we pull this out, we'll see why it gets the heavy duty, and that's because the shank is completely solid. Overall, this is a pretty heavy ball mount, but that's because it can handle some pretty heavy weight. Now, all of this is a solid steel construction. It's got a nice black powder coat finish. B&W puts a really good powder coat on here, so it's going to hold up to any chips or scratches and definitely rust. This is from the inside of our receiver tube opening. So as you can see, this is going to leave our ball mount still nice and clean, and it's going to hold up for a bunch of years to come. Now, we have this in our drop position because we have it hooked up to an LBZ Duramax. You can still put this in a rise position too. So depending on that trailer, you'll be able to flop this over. Now, you will have to re-torque down your ball to get that rise position, but at least you have some options here. That way, whatever trailer comes your way, you'll be able to hook up to it. Now, something to consider on your truck to make sure that the ball sticks out far enough to hook up to your trailer is measure out how far you need to go to make sure that the coupler's not going to have any issues with the truck. From the center of our hitch pin hole to the center of our shank diameter is going to be 9 5/8. The shank is a 6-inch shank, so it works out really well on our truck today. It puts it at a good position to where we can still hook up to that trailer, no problem. Whether you're getting a new ball mount and you need to put a ball on there, or you're swapping the existing ball for something different, you're going to need to re-torque that down. And a little tip that we use here is using the hitch on your vehicle. That way you don't have to get everything in a vise. Obviously, make sure that the shank of the ball matches the diameter of the hole on your ball mount. And then we'll take our split washer and then our nut, and we're just going to hand tighten this on as much as we can. And then we'll take the entire ball mount assembly, and I'm going to put it off to this side here. That way we can get our torque wrench on and be able to push down rather than pull up. Now, to accomplish this, we're going to be using a 3/4 inch torque wrench. Now, you probably don't have one of these at home. You might be able to go out and rent one of these. You might have to borrow one from someone that has some heavy equipment. Now, our socket that we're using here today is going to be a 1 13/16. It's a pretty nice fit on here. If you have a 1 7/8, that'll also work. But you're going to need a wrench here if you want that ball nice and lined up. You can see that there's slots that allow you to put a wrench on here to keep it nice and clean looking. If it rotates, it's not the end of the world, but we do want this to look good. So I'll be using, I have a 1 5/8 wrench here to accomplish that. So I'll get my wrench in place on those slots, get my torque wrench in place. And your torque setting is going to be found on the tag that comes with the ball, so just take that into account. It really comes down to the diameter of the shank. So we'll get this torqued down properly. Once you get your torque wrench click, you're good to go. You can then swap this over, get your pin and clip in place, and then you're ready to hook up your trailer. B&W is definitely a name in the towing game that you've probably heard of, and for good reason. Their products are fantastic, they're heavy duty, and just overall the fit and finish and quality of it is really nice. This ball mount is no different, and it's made in America. And that was a look at the B&W heavy duty ball mount for 2-inch hitches. This is going to be with a 3-inch rise or a 4-inch drop, and it's going to be rated at 16,000 pounds for your gross trailer weight rating.